Spoiler warning, you have 2 seconds to get off the video and go get caught up on the latest episode of The Flash. Yeah, that was a pretty shitty Captain Cold impression, in my opinion. But, yeah, this was a good mid-season finale, but not the best. Nah, the first season had a better mid-season finale, in my opinion. But, yeah, it starts out with, with Wells, meeting Zoom. And you're like, what's going on here? Is this a flashback? Is this something that happens, like, later on in the episode? But no. I mean, this is them meeting back and forth, so to make a deal. And we find out later on in the episode that the deal is, you help me take the Flash's powers and you get your daughter back. Yeah, well, that's one way to turn them into a a problem for the Team Flash. I mean, like, you're thinking that the other guy, okay, the other Wells was a problem. This one won't be so much a problem. He's just gonna help Barry, get the, take care of Zoom and get his daughter back. But I mean, it was pretty cool seeing Weather Wizard and Captain Cold and Trickster. It looks like it's all three of them. It looks like it's gonna be a 3 against 1 kind of scenario, but it turns out not so much because Captain Cold, he's not as invested as the other two are. I do like the role that Patty plays in this episode, where like it's not all sunshines and flower gardens, but which I do love. Those are awesome qualities in her, and she's she's an adorable dork. But that all you just rip that all away, and you see that there's this rage inside of her. This pain that she is clinging on to, that the loss of her father to the Weather Wizard, and she is bloodthirsty. She was out for blood, and I was almost convinced she was going to put an end to him. I mean, I was almost convinced she was going to do it, and then she immediately flipped the switch, and then she said, "You're under arrest," reading him his Miranda rights, and I'm like, oh man. You had me there for a second, Patty. You had me there for a second. Ugh. But I wouldn't have been pissed off if she killed him. No fucks given. I mean, but I get what Barry's trying to tell her, and it seemed, and then he's thinking to himself, I ought to be taking my own advice. And then he's talking to Harrison Wells in his mind, pretending like he's the Reverse Flash, and saying, I can't hate you anymore, I forgive you. That's a powerful move. And Iris comes clean about her mother, about their about his son, her brother, how he's been kept on the DL, and she was pregnant after when she left, and didn't have a clue who the family is, that she even had a sister and whatnot, or that he didn't even have a sister and whatnot. You know what I mean? And so that's a pretty big. That's like a lot to process for him. That's a lot to process for him, and. It's a cool Christmas episode, and then right at the end, like before I went to the the actual ending of the episode, he shows up at their doorstep, and they got a lot of catching up to do. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, and I'm also curious how Wally is gonna get his powers. he's supposed to be another Flash as well. I mean, unless they want to, go the whole Earth 2 route and say, yeah, he's he becomes the Flash in Earth 2 at some point or whatnot. I don't know, but he's got to become the Flash at some point. I mean, there's going to be more Flashes, but I hope they keep Barry. I hope they keep Barry front row and center. Let him be the main Flash. You know what I mean? I have to give this episode maybe a 7.5 out of 1 to 10. It was still good though. I mean, it was a good mid-season finale, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But yeah, and I almost thought if the Flash, the Flash's plan B would be for him to take off his mask right in front of Patty and say, "Don't do this! Look, stop!" I almost thought he was gonna do that, with all the suspense building up and 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 building up until she flipped the switch and then, start reading him his rights and shit. And I was like, oh, whew, okay. That would have been a bad time to tell her, but looks like he may tell her in the next episode when it comes back from his hiatus, Christmas hiatus. So I'd say yes. Please tell her. Come on. I am more Team Barry and Patty than I am Oliver and Felicity. Yep. Said it. I said it. I dare said it, and I did not stutter. So if you liked my review of this episode of the mid-season finale, get those thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to click subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out, guys.